Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, 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 Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your chain for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees are Roger Goodell. Boogie like this and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
All right, shout out to the fam, man. Appreciate y'all being in this episode of the Coma, man. And like I've been saying for some time now, welcome, welcome, welcome. Now rock with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports fam. What's poppin', fam? Thank y'all for joining me on this show. Much love to the fam. Appreciate each and every last one of y'all. And this will be a quick Thursday stream, fam. It won't be a long, drawn-out stream, so shout out to the fam. Appreciate y'all being in here. Just want to go over a few things and react to a couple of things and be out of here, man. Be about 30 minutes at the most. All right, so anyway, I know Pammy here. She about to hit the clock, so, you know, we got to keep it popping. All right, so shout out to y'all. Appreciate you. Pammy, what's up, Marley Maul, brother Eric, OG Jerry, shout out to you, my brother. Good to see you, Dana. Appreciate y'all. Good to see y'all in the stream, man. Much love. Appreciate everybody being up in this thing, man. Much love. All right, so let's go over Thursday injury report, shall we? Thursday injury report. Saints players listed on Thursday injury report along with the Vikings. Week number 10. Can you believe it? Number 10. Week number 10 is here. All right, so anyway, for the Saints, Kendre Miller got that ankle, DNP'd 2 days straight, Wednesday and Thursday. So is Isaiah Foskey, the snowman, with a quadricep. He was DNP'd as well. Fully practiced. Ty Summers, the linebacker, from the hamstring issue. Demario Davis' knee seems to be in the past. That's good. And we get Adam Prentice, who's designated from the return from IR, currently in that 21-day window. That's good that we get a fullback back. Perhaps we can use him to help our running backs out as well when we're using our power eye game or trying to have a lead back in front of Elvin Kamara to kind of help punch them holes open for our offensive line so we can get back to running the ball effectively. Good to see him back out there as well. The Vikings injury report. A lot of people on that. Jaren Hall, the young rookie quarterback, is under concussion protocol. He just probably going to be shut down for this week. Defensive lineman Dean Lowry was limited. Wide receiver KJ Osborne was limited for them. Brian Asamoah II limited, the linebacker, with an ankle issue. The offensive lineman Christian Darrisaw, groin issue, was limited. TJ Hawkinson, their tight end, was limited. Wide receiver Justin Jefferson was listed on the injury list as limited. They say that he shouldn't play in this game, and they saying that he's not supposed to play in this game. And it's a big difference if he does, because that'll be a really good matchup to watch him and Lattimore get it going. But they saying, coming back off that injury list, he's limited, and they're saying that more than likely he will not play in the game. Well, I hear what they're saying, but just like I said now, and always be kind of watching out for this, because a similar thing happened last week. Even though Justin Fields was not listed as out, he was listed as, what was the designation? Questionable, I think it was. He was listed as questionable, and he ultimately was inactive on game day. But you never know how these people can be kind of sneaky. But a lot of reports saying that he doesn't play. But if he doesn't play, why the hell is he listed limited on the injury list? That's what I'm paying attention to. But we'll see how it all ends. Tight end Johnny Munt is limited. Jalen Naylor, the wide receiver, hamstring issue, went from fully practiced to limited, so he went kind of backwards. Chris Reed, the guard, fully practiced, and Harrison Smith, the safety, he did not practice, but he just has a rest day. It's a hard-hitting guy. Not much on his athleticism, but he's a smart, hard-hitting safety that always seems to know where to be on the field, Harrison Smith. So that's a look at some of the injury list, man. Shout out to y'all, man, as we keep it going and pushing. Let's move on, fam. Let's hear from let's start the interview section off, because that's really what the show is talking about. Let's kind of jump into some of our interviews and get that going first and foremost in this game. Y'all put one in the chat if y'all can hear Pete Carmichael. We're gonna go over here what he has to say about the Saints offensive stuff going on, the progressions and the progress of the Saints, among other things, on the offensive.
I think that, again, getting ourselves. Pete, what are your thoughts just on third down offense and just kind of the red zone, what we've seen over the past couple of weeks?
Yeah, I think obviously the numbers have been better. I just think I would say last week, when you go back to the third down numbers, 50% would tell you winning performance, and yet some of those third downs that we didn't convert came early in drives. So I think that, again, getting ourselves in manageable positions to continue to be successful. And I thought, as far as the red zone, some guys made some tough plays. It was nice to see.
It seems like you guys have been busting like a lot of the explosive type runs this year. Is there like a consistent reason for that, you think?
I think it takes all 11. So I think, again, it's us as coaches making sure that when those opportunities arise, that we take advantage of those and making sure we're putting our players in the right positions to get those. But again, that's something that needs to be better.
I'm just going to ask just about starting off with, a typical run on 1st and 10 to get ahead of the chains. Is it then a source of frustration? That feels like a lot of times those are zeros, ones that kind of get a drive off those things.
Yeah, I think it's it's things that we've talked about as a staff, and trying to just make sure that, again, we're putting our players in the best position to try to avoid the 2nd and 9s, and then that also kind of limits a little bit more, I guess, maybe what you're doing on 2nd down as far as calls. Maybe takes away some of the play actions or something, if they're going to be sinking the coverage. But I think, again, it's the message is, hey, we got to be efficient on 1st and 2nd down and get ourselves into manageable thirds.
Yeah, as you guys have gotten into the schedule a little bit, like if you have to define the identity of the offenses, is that kind of clarified? What would it be?
I think the players feel pretty good about the schemes, and I think there's a lot of that coming from communication with those guys, as well as to the things that they like, things that how can we sometimes we talk about reducing the volume, things like that. But I think there's been a lot of great discussion as we've gone along and kind of learned each other, and I think things are going in the right direction.
What it seems, what's as much as Minnesota does, what's the challenge there? What did they do well with this?
Well, I think they create a lot of different personnel groupings, and when you talk about their pressure package, that's their you would say that's their base plan, and so they create a lot of different looks with different personnel packages, and there's also a lot of disguises that they'll present that might put you in some max protections, and then all of a sudden guys are dropping out. So their pressure package creates a lot of things, a lot of time this week spent on those as an offensive staff, and just kind of making sure we're all on the same page.
What do you think you feel? How would you kind of assess those ball security this year? It seems like a little bit of an improvement over last year.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things. If you look back at the numbers last year compared to where we're at this year, it's been a lot better. We're taking care of the ball. I think the quarterback's making good decisions, being smart with the ball, and obviously I think that Joel Thomas, I think he does a great job with those guys, regardless of what position it is, whether he's talking with the running backs, receivers, tight ends, anybody that might touch the ball. And I think just overall, again, there's always been an emphasis on it, but I think that our guys are doing a great job, and I think the message is preached every week that's going to be the number one reason why we get beat.
I had something I lost.
Okay.
Alvin played less than half the snaps in this last game. What kind of goes into that? When he plays, when he does.
Yeah, I think that I think you can come out of any game and you come out and you're like, would have been nice to get him more snaps or more touches, or whether it's the run game or the pass game. I think it was just sometimes that's just the way the game plays out. It wasn't by design. Obviously, he's a big part of what we do. We want him on the field, and hopefully, situations like that. But then there's a lot of guys that we want to get out there and get the ball in their hands.
And what is Jamal brought to you just as far as blocking?
Yeah, I think when you look at not only his blocking and protection, his blocking in the run game, he had some opportunities, for lead blocking for Taysom, and he's been physical, just like his running style. I think he's been outstanding, and I would say coming away from the last few games, just really, praising his the job that he's doing, and he's such a team guy, and he'll do whatever's best for the team, and he's not willing to, or he's willing to put his body in there and make some sacrifices.
That kind of what I expected.
I mean, he's got a great attitude. He's always got energy. He brings a lot of juice, and so I think that he's a great team guy. Real positive.
Getting back to Alvin, I know y'all can't predict how many plays you're going to get or down in distance, but when you game plan, do you have a ballpark figure in mind based on matchups, how much Alvin and Mike and Chris get the ball?
I think you go into every game with the game as you're putting the plan together, saying, hey, make sure we have enough touches for Alvin, enough touches for Mike, and everybody. And then sometimes that's just a matter of what plays get called. And obviously Taysom had a little bit higher volume last week, or at least the number of carries. But I think that, again, it's just what gets called, I think. And it's not like it's any less or any more, usually during the week.
Yeah, the thing with Pete Carmichael, man, was intriguing about what he did the last couple of games for the Saints offenses. We look at and I talked about this on last night's stream, the resources that the Saints offense has for it to, in week number 10, 1-0, we have yet to consistently realize how good this team offensively could be. We've seen a couple of games where they hit on some stuff. Other games when they tease you with it, like the first half of the last game, and then the offense just hibernated and said, hey, young rookie, go kick this field goal, get us up by 10. It's a lot of pressure on the Saints offense because it's a veteran-led offense. They're a veteran-led offense. It's set up to win now. Even though we have young people there, Rashid Shaheed, Chris Olave, those guys, young guys there, right? But this is a team built to win right now. We don't have too much patience for another 7-10 campaign. I'm not saying that's where they're going, but the pressure is on. And in week number 10, it's kind of really interesting that we haven't seen a more consistent team. That's what I'm saying. It hadn't been as consistent as you would want them to be offensively, and that's the really frustrating part about this, because you got all these guys and they're healthy. Alvin Kamara, not Jamal Williams because he was banged up, but Taysom Hill, Mike Thomas, Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, Jimmy Graham. All these guys are healthy. Foster has some issues. Juwan Johnson missed a month or so of the regular season, but pretty much all of the other guys have been pretty much healthy. Thank goodness for up until this point. Now, we are currently on a streak. We are on a 2-game winning streak, and I'm just waiting to see this team catch fire. I really am, man. I'm just tired of kind of listening to, the accolades and understand this is what they got to give. Dennis did his thing yesterday. Then he sends out his coordinators to talk on Thursday to us because he did his teleconference yesterday. So, it's interesting, man, how I just want to see the Saints offense find something that they like to do and stick to it. Like running the football, man. We get the fullback back. Can we utilize him, put him in front of Alvin Kamara more than a handful of plays? Can we kind of make our offensive line, kind of overemphasize if we have to, the importance of them actually being more consistent in running the ball in terms of us running the football, more emphasis on beating your individual matchups, more emphasis on what we need to do, being more disciplined, avoiding the pre-snap penalties, staying on code, that type of stuff. More emphasis on that. And then, of course, Carr, him getting better as we go. So, I mean, that's a part of the game that I witness. And I'm like, man, the Saints have all these people here, and we just waiting patiently for them to just get jumping and bucking and moving, man. And the offense, man, listen, this offense should be a lot better. And we know this, man. We really do. I think Elvin Kamara, they speak about Elvin Kamara getting the ball more and more. That shouldn't be a conversation, right? Elvin Kamara should get the ball more. And I really kind of say, about the Derek Carr thing, keeping his snaps, or not his snaps, but his attempts between 25 to 30 attempts per contest, utilizing the running attack to get it done. And Taysom's a part of that, having all them going. I know Jamal Williams is hurt. Well, not Jamal, but Kendrick Miller's banged up. So we still be able to utilize the Taysom. We can still use Elvin. If we got to move somebody else in there to get it going, we have to do it, because we do have a lot of versatility there. And then, of course, having Taysom Hill throwing passes, that's another part of the game that really shakes everything up. If the Saints really did more of an emphasis on trying to balance Taysom Hill's play calls, like they call it the RPO, is really just the run. It's just the run. It's the run option. It's not no passing it. Now, he did throw a touchdown, and he threw a pass attempt. If we can get that, make that a part of the mainstay of Taysom's game from week to week, it could be a lot different for the Saints offense, to be honest with you. So we'll see how it goes, man. But yeah, let's move on next. Let's hit Cam Jordan. This is Cam Jordan's interview, family. Cam.
I mean, why wouldn't you blame it on D-line? When a quarterback escapes the pocket, who do you point the finger at? It's got to be on us. We feel like Dobbs, what he was doing in Arizona was pretty electric. And what he did last week against Atlanta was astounding, the way he extended plays off with his feet. So it's got to be on the D-line. We've got to be able to collapse the pocket. We've got to be able to, it's another one of those weeks where it's no fun to rush the quarterback. And we faced like 3 or 4 or 5 of those already this year, where it's like you'd love to hit the top edge of a rush, or, run 8 yards in, but that's going to lead to gashes on the defense. So you can't do it. I think our defensive line has congealed enough with our interior where now we can start talking about, all right, well, this is what we have to do. We were asking you to do it. Now we were telling you to do it, and it has to get done.
Is that why maybe the pressure numbers are maybe what you guys would expect?
I don't know. Does pressure equal what? What does that equal for anybody? You want to give pressure to quarterback for sure, but are pressure numbers down or up? They're down this year. Gosh darn it. In terms of like defensive blitz, are we talking about personally speaking?
See, Cam is intelligent. So Cam is being real, even though his face is not saying it, but he has a way of being sarcastic even when he's trying to keep a straight face. Talk about pressures, all that kind of stuff. Pressures. What does pressures really mean unless they translate into sacks? That's all I was saying. When people were throwing the pressure stats at me last year when Davenport was here, Q, he leading the league in pressures, or he top 5 in pressures. I'm like, dude, pressure don't mean nothing unless it translates to sacks or turnovers, and that pressure could mean him pressuring the quarterback out of the pocket into the arms of his teammate. That pressure counts. But a pressure that doesn't translate into sacks, what are we doing? And Cam is fortifying that. He's saying that too.
I don't know anymore. At some point, we're trying to put together wins. So if we're not allowed, we're facing these mobile quarterbacks. We're not allowed to pass rush to our highest capacity, because it's one of those things where you have to collapse the pocket and have your eye on the quarterback. It just is what it is. Again, I'm here to get wins. I'm not here to get pressures. Or it's great to have pressures if those pressures lead to us winning. At the end of the day, we want to do our job to our highest abilities, and that hopefully puts our team in a better position to win. It equals 5 turnovers. At this point, if we say pressures are down, also turnovers are more than double up from last year. So it goes hand in hand.
So
that'll be frustrating if you're the defense, and even though we did get the W, it's a team game. Like, I know from a defensive perspective, and a true professional will never say that But when you playing football and the offense is struggling, the defense is kicking ass. Because I've played in games when that happened, when we were handling the business, we were getting the turnovers, and then the offense was just stinking. So you kind of get on them. Man, y'all need to pick it up over there. He, of course, Cam won't tell them that, tell them that. But it's I can't impact change in their room unless I get a touchdown and put it on the board, or a turnover that I run back, whatever, a defensive touchdown, whatever that may be, a fumble recovery, an interception translates into a touchdown, whatever the case may be. But my job is most of the time to get turnovers, to stop the opposing offense, get turnovers for my offense on the short field. Saints did that. 5 turnovers last game, 7-point win, whatever. We got the dub. What I'm saying is the lesson to learn, there's supposed to be a lesson or lessons that you learn from every game. That's how coach is supposed to do it. Like when you go and look at the film, what are you looking at? Are you just, just circling mistakes that we made? No, you also showing the good that they do, because not too many coaches that are successful going to go and look at the film and just show their players all of the negative stuff. See right here, number 75, you stink. You did this. You were supposed to block this or that in the third, and you did this. You basically showing them up in front of his teammates, his mistakes. So the thing is, even though you keep it real, you show the mistakes, but you show what they did right. That we need to emphasize that. See this stuff here, we need to do this. We need to do more of this. And you take that stuff and you build on it, and that's how you move forward. You know what I'm saying? That's how I would look at film. That's how we used to do it. Like if you made a mistake here or there, coach would do. And I had an old country ass coach that was doing that. But he's like, see that boy that did. That's how you do it. Like it was one that I was on film. I knocked the dude on his ass. I helped get the guy up, and the coach got on me for that. He said, "See that right there? Why'd you do that? Why you do that, 44? Why you do that?" I said, "Because man, it's good sportsmanship." He said, "Nah, your job is to knock him down, let his teammate get him up." That's what he told me. I said, "Coach, about sportsmanship, the hell with that." So I understood what he was saying. But in the end, the reality is like, the defense needs to step it up too. They're not beyond a scope of criticism here. They're not. The Saints defense have allowed mediocre quarterbacks for the longest to be able to roll around, scramble around, and make these cardiac games that just drive us absolutely crazy. Y'all hear me, watch me in the games, in the play-by-play, and the live broadcast just going off, because I'm sitting up here saying that should be something that's just a discussion that's had, and a talk between the defensive linemen to correct these problems that you have in terms of the defensive line containment. The containment issues is because you breaking containment, you're getting too wide or you're going too far in. Something's wrong here. You got to be able to have discipline and stay what you do. That's the conversation between those 4 guys that has to be had. And the fact that it just kept happening and it keeps happening over time, they got to fix that, because that's not going to be a good look. We letting you just giving the game away if you let that happen. Like I said, Chicago's such a bad team that they were so intelligent, they were so unintelligent that they went away from what worked. And had they kept doing what they were doing with the QB and putting the game in his hands, they probably would have won that game, because the Saints had no answer for stopping that dude when he's scrambling around running like that. They had no answer for that dude. So it is what it is, man. So anyway, let's finish up with Cam.
So does that mean, obviously, you like sacks, but you think what you've done
I love
has
sacks
been effective
on quarterbacks.
Like, you're willing to reluctantly admit that you're okay with this if it's.
I'm okay with winning.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we strive for. I mean, do I want to have 13, 14 sacks by now? Sure. In a great year, but I have 6? Yes. Have I split a whole bunch of sacks? Absolutely. Are pressures cool? Fine. But at the end of the day, when that game clock ends, are we winning? You could have 3 sacks and a loss. That doesn't hit the same as 0 sacks and a win. It doesn't hit the same as, success as a team. I think personal accolades are great. Team wins are better.
And when you say that you haven't faced necessarily a lot of run first quarterbacks, but that's been the plan.
No, we faced a lot of first read and then run quarterbacks. Yeah. Instead of read the defense and then whatever it is.
And so that's led to that approach.
It is what it is. You have to be aware of how we've been gashed. 78 yards out of 100 and however many. on the ground this past game was from the quarterback. You know, the week before that, whatever it was another 40 or 50 yards from the quarterback. Trevor Lawrence had another 40 or 50 yards from the quarterback. It seems like these 50-yard clips are happening and they're escaping from our whatever it is, the sleuthing out the B gaps or taking around and whatever that is. We have to be able to eliminate that. Once we get that off the film, we can get back to doing what I know we can do.
It felt like the in-game adjustments to that, because I think with Tyson last week, he had like 16 in the first half, and you held him like 10 rushing yards. Have you felt like the in-game adjustments to adjust how that has been better?
Which has led you guys to ask us a lot about how do we start fast and keep that foot on the pedal. It has to be a team collective effort. It has to be a D-line conscious rush, which is great when you're rushing 3 against 5. But you have to know exactly what you're going against, and you have a mobile quarterback again. Had it been not Badgett but Justin Fields, would have been the same type rush. The games we play, the quarterbacks we face, it just is what it is.
Based on the film.
Yeah, for real. And credit to the reporters for sticking on that point. Credit to our reporters for sticking on the point about the mobile QB threat. This is the biggest issue with the Saints defense. Now, they've been getting sideways gashed in the running attack over the last several weeks or so. But the biggest issue with the Saints defense is this mobile quarterback threat, which has been an Achilles heel for the Saints defense for a while now. They have not figured that out. And that's simply like what Cam was saying. It's a communication issue. Guys got to talk into what they're doing. We have to be cognizant of what we're doing. We rushing the pass, so we have to be smarter on how we're handling this, because this stuff is killing us. It's keeping us on the field longer than what we're supposed to be. They scoring touchdowns on it. And best believe Chicago looked at the Indianapolis game. They tried to mimic that stuff. And the Saints have to do a better job in eliminating that. They have to stop that. Really, you look at some of the film, the Saints started really stepping up in the second half. They made the adjustments. Chicago they adjusted out of what was wrong. I was like, man, I was talking about it in the play-by-play in the game. We were doing the game. I said, Man City about to lose because they made a dumb mistake. They went away from what worked. That's what bad teams usually do. They go away from what works to something else, and they don't have. And by the time they try to adjust back to it, the guy was out of rhythm. His confidence was down. Balls started throwing interceptions and all kind of stuff. He wasn't doing that. He wasn't doing none of that at the start of the game because his confidence was up high. He was running around scrambling, making the throws, keeping them in the game. And I'm like, who the hell is this dude? Who is this guy? And when you see that happening, like, is all of these mediocre quarterbacks like Gardner Minshew and Baker Mayfield and Tyson Badgett and whatever his name is, Taylor, whatever his damn name is, these guys, are they as good as what's advertised? And the answer is hell no, they're not. They're not. They're backup quarterbacks in the NFL. They're not supposed to look that good unless you're doing something wrong. You're definitely doing something wrong, that you are giving them opportunities to do this. You give a quarterback 10, the pocket opens up, or the line opened up like the Red Sea, and that's 10 yards in front of him. Any quarterback with common sense is going to take off and try to pick up that yardage. All he has to do is slide into it. Nobody gets hit, and that's a cool 10 for him. Keep it moving. And that's also that demoralizes the Saints defense too, because they're out covering, and then the quarterback takes off and picks up a first down. That's like a soul punch in many respects. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, we had to do, and I let them rip out there and do this, But Cam knows it, just like we all know it, man. So we got to get that fixed. All right, let's move on, fam. Let's jump to Joe Woods. Here's Joe Woods' thought on the defense. Is the boss of the defense, even though we know Dennis Allen runs defense. Much love to Joe Woods. Love Joe Woods, man. Great dude. Love him. How he touches and talks about the game. Let's hear what Joe Woods had to say.
Cleveland for quite a while. He's a guy that the players rally around. Like, he'd always get in the game and just find a way to make a play. He definitely has the arm strength to make the throws. He's played quite a bit in this league, but he definitely extends plays with his legs. But you can see the guys last week, they rally around him. He's just that type of personality. So it's going to be tough.
Is he one of the more mobile quarterbacks out of the ones you guys have faced so far this year?
They all seem mobile right now. So, I'm sure going into it, that's what type of player he is. I know back when he was at Pittsburgh, he had a lot of design quarterback runs. Then when he came to Cleveland, there was more things involved in what he was doing. But it's definitely going to be a problem workhorse just in terms of what we do to try to keep him in the pocket.
What is it about him you feel like makes teams rally around him?
He's just that type of guy. I don't know, man. You just like him. He's around there. He just has that personality. People gravitate towards him. Like I said, he gets in the game, man. He just finds a way to make incredible plays. I've witnessed it, so I was one of the people in there cheering with him. So
when you talk to him, can you tell he's a rocket scientist?
I don't know about that. I know he's smart, but no, this great guy. I know he was able to handle a lot of football there in terms of what they were asking from him. But in terms of being a rocket scientist, I don't.
Smart guy.
Yeah, he's a smart guy. Yeah,
Joe,
for sure.
How do you coach the defensive linemen to not give up these rushing lanes, but then allow them to still be aggressive and try to get to the quarterback? Seems like probably issue 1 and issue 2, and they kind of fight each other a little bit, right?
Yeah, I think the first thing is that from a defensive line standpoint, there's different ways that we can attack. If it's 4-man rush, there's 6 gaps. So they're short 2 already. So they have to do a great job just in terms of executing their pass rush games because it's individual rushes meshed together to try to get after the quarterback. But at the same time, for us defensively, we have to mix what we're doing, whether it's 4-man rush, whether it's bringing pressure, whether it's having somebody spy. But you have to have different packages, especially when you're trying to defend a mobile quarterback.
And those issues, I mean, everybody's kind of explained it that if people are rushing individually, you lose sort of the team concept.
Yeah.
I mean, can that spring from guys who haven't gotten to the quarterback all game? And,
No. I mean, I think that's part of it at times, but I just think it's those guys just working together, just understanding us making the corrections. And again, it can't always be on them. We have to do different things because again, it's hard when it's just 4-man rush because there's extra gaps. So that's something that we talk about, is doing different things. And we know it's a problem, obviously. Everybody knows it's a problem. So we have to do a better job of game planning for better situations as well.
Joe, I know you guys made a huge emphasis this offseason and turn around those takeaway numbers.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you get that to actually manifest itself in the playing field the way it has?
I think it's just confidence. Because I always believe you get takeaways by playing good technique. And it's a product of rush and coverage working together, whether it's man coverage, pressure, zone. But I think if you just execute your technique, put yourself in a good position, it comes down to just catching the ball. And that's what I thought I saw on tape when I looked at it last year, is just the ability to make plays running through traffic because the opportunities were there. So I just try to do ball drills with those guys a lot, put them in different situations, and just show them on tape those opportunities. When we do take advantage of them, of those, and the ones we leave out there as well.
And we've seen Paulson now a couple of times, the top-down punch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how difficult is that for guys to really nail on this?
Yeah,
especially good at both.
Well, I think the first thing is you got to run to the ball. If you don't run the ball, you're not going to have those opportunities. So I think it's really about effort, getting there. Then it has to be second nature, and that's something that DA talked to us all about last week. Put big emphasis on it, and we ended up getting 2 takeaways, strip fumbles or top down punch out. So this has to be part of what you do.
With the rush, I'll just get back to a little bit. It sounds simple, but when you kind of break it down, obviously it's like you're not calling plays, it's everyone kind of doing their own thing that has to work together. Is that a challenge there, kind of getting, because it's not just one person, everyone has to kind of get it on their own?
Absolutely. Like I said, it's individual rushes meshed together. And it all has to work. Guys have to work together. Sometimes you're the sacrificial lamb. You're setting the pick. You ain't gonna get there, but the other guy will. So it's working together, and I know our guys do a great job. We just been unfortunate. And again, there's more things we have to do. Whether it's 3-man rush with different things or 4-man rush with bringing pressure, and we know that. So we put emphasis on it, and we have to do much better, especially in this game, based on who we're playing.
And I mean, why do you think they more time on pass? You'd imagine that would improve over time.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys working together, getting comfortable. That's it. All right, let's go get them.
Joe Woods, man. Breaking it down, man. Defensive line perspective. And we talked about it before about individual guys winning individual matchups. Remember, we can go back in the past when Kalen Saunders was talking about that, him being a guy that has to, draw the double team so guys like a Carl Granderson or a Cam Jordan can get loose to get to the quarterback, you know. So this is stuff that's good. It's on their mind. And that's a positive. The majority of the questions aimed at Cam was about mobile quarterbacks. The majority of the questions aimed at the defensive coordinator in name, Joe Woods. We know Dennis Allen calls the plays, but Joe's the guy. We know Ty Grantham is the defensive line. But regardless of that, they are all looking at the same thing, meaning that there's an awareness that the Saints have an issue defending the mobile quarterbacks, which means the onus is on the Saints to stop the mobile quarterback. That is the top priority for the defense coming into this game. We got to stop the Vikings offense, but we can't allow them to move around or Josh Dobbs to scramble around. We have to contain them to the pocket. So let's see how in a couple of days how the Saints look doing that. So at least it's on their minds, man. That's what you can kind of ask for moving forward. At least it's on their minds, to be honest with you, about what they need to focus on. So it's going to be interesting to see how all of this goes with the Saints moving into week number 10. Friday stream, fam. We'll be back Friday, perhaps if I'm trying to open up the phone lines for Friday to recap. We will preview the game on Friday, Saints and Vikings. We'll go over the statistics and everything, man, and we'll just do what we do Friday, man, and open up the phone lines too. Won't have an all-night show, but we'll talk pretty much a good deal about it. So anyway, as we get ready, I'm going to get ready to get out on that. Listen, I appreciate all y'all for chiming in on this episode of the show. Shout out to everybody, man. Brother Gundam. They talk about the Dennis Allen thing, man. That's just, I was just listening to the dude, man, and not Dennis Allen, Derek Carr. And he has his style is more of a, not banter, but he's just kind of he's just going and going, you know. He's just giving you a lot of information, you know, stuff in between the stuff, you know. He was just, you know, he just prattles on, you know, not in a negative, but he just gives you a lot of information. People start talking about, you know, when he was asking about, how you feeling in the Saints offense, and he spoke about how he feels like he's preparing, you know, like it's the Super Bowl, like every game's like the Super Bowl, which means he's really taking it serious. Probably, you know, might be attacking it a little too hard. But yeah, he says, and yeah, Gundam's absolutely right on that, you know, about him. He has to spread the ball around. He's cognizant of that. He did mention the fact that I think a part of the last game was he's trying to get Chris Olave going in the game. But you got to remember, you got other players, and, you know, and he's far from a Drew Brees. But the reality is you have to fan through those progressions. You got to go to the open man. Michael Thomas is most of the time single covered. He beats a single cover guy. He beats a single dude all the time. You're not going to see a lot of double coverage toward Michael Thomas because the Saints have too many people out there. He just has to take the time, get comfortable, and go through that. So yeah, we had to you probably have to look. Yeah, you got to go through most of that. I just ad lib, bro. You know, part comedian, man. You know, I just go through it, man. And I just, you know, I watched the Equalizer, the third Equalizer. You know, I like the Equalizer films, and I seen it maybe several months ago. The Equalizer, for whatever reason, I used Carr as it was a scenario where I kind of created Carr talking to how he talks to the media. You know, Carr gets up there and he'll go, you know, he'll say, well, you know, I talked to Mike. You know, we had Rashid Shaheed, and I got off the phone with Mike. I texted Rashid Shaheed. I told him, I said, you know, Sheed, listen, we about to go and watch the Equalizer. You know, it was a scene. I seen the trailer for it, and the Equalizer. You know, he looked mad. The guy did him something. He hit his watch, and he said, you got 9 seconds to figure out what you're gonna do here before he shoots him. But then all of a sudden, he didn't really give him 9 seconds. He gave him 5 seconds. He shot the guy in the face, grabbed his wrist, flipped him upside down, and smashed him on the concrete. It's like, wow, you know, that's really interesting. So what I did was I took a picture of the trailer and I kind of give it to him. I called Elvin Kamara. I said, Kamara, you want it? And it's just, that's how it goes until somebody stops them. It's just he just one long sentence into everything else, and it's just weird, listening to how he talk, he do the same thing. And I think Carr is a cool dude, he got to settle down and kind of get relaxed, but he gives you his details in between the details and almost to the point where it like puts you to sleep. It almost kind of lulls you to sleep a little bit. And then he says, I looked at it and I said, man, this was just really cool. So I text Mike Thomas. Mike Thomas, I said, hey, Mike, I just seen the trailer for Equalizer. The guy, he gave him 9 seconds, but he didn't really give him 9 seconds. He stopped it at 5 seconds and shot the guy in the face, grabbed the other guy's gun, flipped him upside down, stuck it through his face, and shot the guy through his face to the other guy. That was really cool. So, I want to say, seen the trailer. Do you want to go? So after I got a phone, he said, yeah. So I got a phone. I called Chris Olavi. I said, yo, Chris, I got Michael Thomas. He wants to go to the Equalizer, go see the movie. I was thinking, maybe you can join us right there. Did you see the Equalizer? No, he ain't see it? Okay, cool. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to pick you up. We're going to go there. It's just a long thing. It ends up going on and on and on until he went to Elvin Kamara, and then he calls Jimmy Graham, and then Jimmy Graham tells him that the Equalizer is not in the theater no more. So, it's just the whole spiel, but that's just the day. It's just the damn thing that Carr does. It's just, yeah, I'm really prepared. I'm preparing like it's the Super Bowl, I told him, I said, sheet, forget about it. Just go, I draw my hands, you got to understand, I get a little passionate sometimes. And I told him, I just drew my hands. I say, when you see it, just go, and, we went to, and people talk about how I talk. I'm from, I went to, I came out of Texas. I went to California, and, Fresno State Bulldogs, we did what we were supposed to do. But, I really like movies. My favorite candy is like toffee. I'm saying my favorite colors is, I like black, like gold, but my really favorite color is green. I make a lot of money. I'm pretty rich. I feel pretty good about that. But, on the field, I'm trying to excel. I treat each game like it's a Super Bowl. I try to compete, I get a little passionate. I'm a passionate guy. I text him. I said, I'm passionate. He sent my text message back. He said, I know. I told him, I said, hey, listen, I'm outside my backyard. I see this beautiful butterfly. I take a picture of the butterfly. He sends me a picture of the butterfly back. So I just took the butterfly. I captured the butterfly. I started painting on the butterfly. I put speckles and I put fleur-de-lis on the butterfly. I texted, took a picture of it, sent it back to him. He said, wow, that's cool. I said, you should send that to Mike Thomas. So I took that text button and I sent it to Mike Thomas. After that, I got off the phone and I called Chris Olavi. I said, hey, Chris, how you doing, man? You straight? Yeah. How about let's go get some tacos? Oh, you don't like tacos? Okay, let's, what do you like to eat? Oh, you like fish, fried fish, flounder, trout, red, which is speckled? Oh, no, you don't like none of that? Okay, cool. How about a steak? No steak? All right, let's go get a salad. Okay, cool. All right, so before we go, let's call Jimmy Graham. Maybe we can get his airplane. We got a lot of traffic out here. You think Jimmy will fly us to the place? And then it goes on and on and on forever to somebody stops him. Stop him. Yeah, I know. I did what I could do, but I'm telling you, I'm a little passionate. So I told him, go, and I put my arm like this. He went up there. I turned around. We went back, and I seen Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen said, hey, what you guys doing? I said, hey, we were trying to fix up this old car outside. And then, Dennis makes a little, he laughs at it and says, oh, you trying to fix up that ragged ass car? Yeah, he says, your name is Car and you've been kind of sucking. So you might be trying to do that. Yeah. I thought that was kind of funny, but I told him, hey, Dennis, guess what? I'm a rich man. I'm $150 million richer. I'm richer than you. I can buy you. I was just joking, of course. And I didn't, when I thought in my head, when I seen that, I took a picture of that in my head. And then I called Jimmy Graham. I said, hey, Jimmy, do you have your plane fueled up? And Jimmy says, what are you talking about? My plane? Why would you need my plane? Well, I was thinking about flying over the city, renting a banner and putting behind the banner, the New Orleans Saints were going to win. I wanted to do that because I'm so passionate. Jimmy said he's not doing that. And I just said, cool. So what I did was after that, I called Paulson Adebo. I know he's on the other side of the field. I don't know why I would call Paulson Adebo. Maybe because he went to school in California and I went to school in California. I think that's cool. Then after that, I told him to text me a picture of his college's sign, the sign that sits out front of his college. I don't know why I needed that, but I just thought he would send it to me because, because I'm the quarterback. I act whatever I ask for, I want, So I told him, send me a picture of the sign out front of Stanford, and after I did that, I then called Jamal Williams. I told Jamal Williams that Pokemon suck. He got mad at me and says, who the hell you like? I told him Digimon is better. Then I sent him a picture of my Digimon commercial. I mean, my Digimon cards. I sent it to him. He sent it back to me and says, that's not real. I said, how can it not be real? He said, because Blake Martinez sold you that stuff. And I said, Blake Martinez, didn't he run a fake Pokemon business where he made $11 million or something like that? He said, exactly. You got took. You're a fool. So I deleted that text. And then I left Jamal Williams alone because he showed me up. So it's all good now. Now we all good. So I'm out of the show. All right. So anyway, with that being said, fam, I'm going to get ready to bounce on that. Listen, I appreciate all y'all for chiming on this episode of this show. Oh my goodness, man. I just be just having too much fun doing this. Listen, fam, I'm gonna get out on here. Y'all check out my dog Randolph. He on there right now. Much love to the Who Dat Nation, man. I'm holler at y'all on the flip side. I'll be back tomorrow with the preview. Much love and Who Dat.
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a Who Dat. I'm a Who Dat. Long as I'm living, I'm a Who Dat. Lose or winning, I'm a Who Dat. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, 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 Boogie like Benson, I'm a Who Dat. I'm a Who Dat. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Yeah, probably like this and I'm a Who Dat. Every day I'm living, I'm a Who Dat. Lose or winning, I'm a Who Dat. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, 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 Boogie like Benson, I'm a Who Dat. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
WhoThatDaily.com. That's right, the WhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who Dat and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, WhoThatDaily.com is your site. The WhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who Dat in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and